Do you know that the origin of singing anxiety is related to the physical sensation of being safe? And that for building the confidence to sing, you need to access your feelings and understand your necessities rather than spend your time and effort looking for a miraculous technique? Hi, I'm Carla Lima. In this video, I will explain how to develop the feeling of safety that will allow your singing voice to flow. For that, I will highlight 6 strategies that you can start applying today. In this channel, I share content about overcoming the fear of singing and vocal well-being with a holistic view. These are the chapters for this video. Before we dive into the content, I would like to mention my online course where you can learn exercises and practices to facilitate your singing in case of trauma or emotional blocks. The link for the course is in the description. Now, let's explore how to feel safe when singing. Changing the mindset. Singing is natural for the human body. You do not learn to sing, you allow your singing. Then, if you want, you can learn some techniques from the style you want to sing. Otherwise, you will keep the idea that you are inherently flawed and need someone to rescue you. Thinking that the ability to sing comes from the outside makes you a slave of external validation and keeps your sense of unworthiness. You are not broken. Building a sacred space for your singing practice. It means creating an environment where your nervous system feels safe to sing or to start trying to sing. This involves the conditions of the place you are in and how your body perceives this environment. You should not force yourself to sing in any place or circumstance, as this is disrespectful to yourself and your body, especially if your fear of singing comes from trauma. Another point is that your space of practice should be a place where you feel comfortable singing ugly and singing loud, because overcoming this barrier is what will allow your beautiful and confident singing voice to flow. In doing so, you will realize that the space you set up for singing is a sacred space, and respecting that space is respecting yourself. In my online course, Open Your Singing Voice Practice to Overcome Trauma and Emotional Blocks, there is a lesson specifically designed to teach you how to build a sense of safety for your singing practice. I recommend you check this out on the course page. Taking care of feeling inspired. Being aware of how you are feeling physically and emotionally and finding ways to motivate yourself will bring you inspiration. Feeling inspired naturally relaxes your body to sing. For example, when I watch some videos of people singing, it sparks a light inside me and I want to sing too. When you sing from a place of inspiration, it naturally harmonizes your nervous system. If you want more details on ways to regulate your nervous system, I recommend you watch this video, Overcoming Traumatic Responses That Blocks Your Singing, or check out the link in the description. And if you want more ideas on how to be inspired for your singing practice, I recommend you watch this other video, 12 strategies to facilitate singing in case of trauma or emotional blocks. I will also leave the link in the description. Having the courage to face your fear, persisting in your singing practice, even with all your emotional reactions, even if your voice doesn't come out the way you want it to be, even with all the ups and downs, is what will allow you to progress. And perhaps this is the hardest part, having patience. We feel anxious, we want quick results, we look for miraculous techniques until we realize that all of that comes from the fear of looking at our own pain. Then we become aware that through self acceptance, self love, and an immense desire to achieve, we are able to develop the needed patience with ourselves and reconnect to our bodies, which allows our singing to flow. Learning to set boundaries. Who you are with when you practice singing matters. Someone who is very critical and constantly judges how your voice is sounding creates a barrier for you overcoming the fear of singing instead of helping you. Besides that, do not expose your singing indiscriminately. Avoid showing everyone your singing until you have built up enough self confidence. And building self confidence brings us to our next topic, developing a real sense of self. The fear of exposing yourself and the fear of singing have to do with the expectations you have regarding to being seen and the way you perceive yourself. That's why developing a deep sense of self is essential to feeling confident when singing. A sense of self is having a clear definition of yourself from the inside out, instead of seeing yourself through the lens of others. It implies embodiment and a deep sense of worthiness. A healthy sense of self makes you less vulnerable to external opinions, even when it comes from someone considered an expert, because you are connected with your inner truth. To build a healthy sense of self, it is important to do your inner work to resolve any issues of self image and self esteem, and also to accept that you are responsible for your process. Yeah, a sense of self also means that you are aware of your self responsibility. A useful resource in singing practice to help you develop a sense of self and self confidence is to record and watch your performance, because this strategy has the power to put yourself in deep touch with your body and helps you see your singing in a more objective way. Most of the time, you will realize that the practical reality is much better than your self image, and this will reduce the negative self talk. I developed a free resource that helps you organize your singing practice with strategies to overcome the fear of singing. You can download it, and the link is in the description below. As I mentioned in the beginning, now you have the opportunity to learn the exercises and practices that have worked in my own journey to overcome the fear of singing by enrolling the online course Open Your Singing Voice, Practices to Overcome Trauma and Emotional Blocks. Visit the course page to learn more. I will leave the link in the description. Like this video if it was useful for you and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.